Pilates with Laura. Thanks for joining me today. Let's start with our postural setup. Bringing the feet together, turning the toes out to about 10 to 2, and then the heels out so they're in line with the toes. Soften into the knees and lift and lengthen through the spine. Just imagine a string coming through the top of our head, drawing us up towards the ceiling. And then lift the shoulders up, back and down. Slide them in towards the spine to create a little pinch between the shoulder blades. And from there, aligning the pelvis, ideally in a neutral position. You can think about that as a bowl of water, full to the brim. And if that doesn't feel comfortable, that softness into the knees, just going to gently tilt the pelvis slightly forward and up, and then back and up. And then just make those tilts a little bit smaller until you find a position that feels right for you. So it's either going to be neutral or as close to neutral as we can achieve. And then from there, we're going to engage into the core using two visualizations, one for the pelvic floor. So imagine a zip from pubic bone up to navel, draw in and up on the zip all the way to the top, feels a little tight. So we're going to release halfway and a little bit more. So that zip is done a third of the way up to lightly connect the pelvic floor. Then a big white belt runs around our midsection with 10 notches on it. Do it up to the 10th notch. It's feeling a bit tight. We're going to restrict our movement and our breathing. So release to the 5th and then the 3rd notch. So we've now got a light connection in the core. And just start by rolling the shoulders up and down a few times. Just to mobilize gently into the shoulders. Arms are relaxed. So 2 more of these shoulder rolls. Drawing the shoulders up, back and down, stabilizing the shoulders, little pinch between the shoulder blades. Inhale as you drop the chin towards the chest. And then exhale as you lift the chin through and towards the shoulder, parallel with the floor. Inhale, exhale through to the other side. Inhale and exhale. Try and relax the head and neck. Maintain the stability into the shoulders. And just lift the chin, just so it comes parallel with the floor. And mobilizing the neck and gently stretching the muscles and attachments in and around the neck. This will be our last one here. And then from there, just bring the head back through the center and lift the chin parallel with the floor. And just check in with the length through the spine. We haven't collapsed down. And then inhale, float the arms up above the head, palms facing in. And then exhale, open the arms out, palms up. And then palms towards the floor. Inhale. And then exhale as we stand. So we're now mobilizing into the shoulders and also into the hips, knees and ankles. Drawing the shoulders back and down and just bringing the hands in front of the knees. And just make sure here that the knees are sliding in line with the middle of the foot. And as you take the arms up towards the ceiling, just check that we're not lifting the shoulders up towards the ears. So we're maintaining that distance from the ear to the shoulder. This will be our last one of these. When we get to the top, I'm just going to float the arms back down by our sides, inhaling as we reach the side and exhaling as we lift over the top, and then inhale and exhale. So we're now lengthening up and into the waist. Maybe finding a little bit more length with each repetition. Try and maintain that stability through the pelvis, softness into the knees. This is called a standing mermaid. Just allow the arms to just float up and over. One more time to each side. Just using the breath, connecting the movement to the breath. Inhale and exhale. Inhaling, exhaling, floating the arms up now. Palms facing in, thumb on top. Inhale and exhale, draw the right arm back. Inhale, forward. Exhale, left arm back. Drawing the shoulders back and down as we do this. And we're going to add some rotation. So looking round towards the elbow, but keeping the hips facing directly forwards. So we're mobilizing the midsection of the spine. We're just going to do 2 more of these to each side. Just following your elbow with your eye line. Lifting and lengthening through the spine so we can create more range of movement. This is our last one. And then from here the arms are going to float down by our sides. And then from here we're just going to turn to face into the middle of the mat, and we'll do a few roll downs. So to set up for the roll down, the feet are back to hip distance apart. We soften into the knees, lift and lengthen through the spine, drawing the shoulders up, back and down, stabilizing the pelvis, engaging into the core. Inhale. And as we exhale, drop the chin towards the chest, roll down through the spine, vertebrae by vertebrae, relaxing the head, the neck and the arms. And just go as far as you feel that you safely can. And then inhale and exhale and roll back up, stacking the spine vertebrae by vertebrae and keeping the pelvis in a neutral position, which is lastly lifting up through the head. Up to 4 more of these, inhaling and then exhaling as we roll down. Make sure the pelvis stays stable, maybe a little bit further on the second one. Inhale to exhale, roll back up again, stack the spine vertebrae by vertebrae. So we're mobilizing the spine. And lifting and lengthening at the top. Inhale, exhale. Just check the knees should still be soft. So there's no tension in the knees. There's a light engagement in the muscles, in the legs. We've got 2 more roll downs. As we stand from the roll down, little push through the heels, activating into the back of the legs and into the glutes. So our next roll down is our last one. And this one is going to take us down all the way to the mats. Just start by bending the knees, coming forward all the way onto our fronts. Once we come onto our front, we're going to take the elbows out in line with the shoulders and the hands in line with the elbows. Lengthen through the spine. Bring the legs to about hip distance apart. Tuck the chin, slide the shoulder blades back and down, engage into the core. Inhale. As we exhale, peel the breastbone off the mat, looking down towards the mat. And then inhale and exhale. So this is our basic swan dive. Using the postural muscles in the mid to upper back to peel ourselves off the mat. You can stay with us, or if you would like to, change the hand position and just bring the fingertips just onto the forehead. Inhale, exhale and lift. And just check in that the core is still engaged, not scrunching up into the lower back. And we can either stay with this, or exhaling, coming up, you're taking the arms straight out in line with the shoulders. Inhale to lower, exhale to lift, lengthening out the arms. Working strongly into the core, but also the postural muscles. So not only just lifting, but lifting and lengthening, drawing the shoulders back and down. And try and bring some energy into the arms. There may be a light engagement into the glutes, protecting the lower back. And the legs are strong but relaxed, still in contact with the mat. We've got 2 more of these. But remember to rest whenever you feel you need to. The repetitions are only there as a guide. This is our last one. And then float the upper body back down. Find yourself a pillow, one hand on top of the other. Rest the forehead. Everything else is the same. So lengthen out the legs and then inhale. And exhale, lift one leg straight up. Inhale and exhale and lower. Lifting the leg, inhaling to lower. Exhale. Now you can continue with single leg lifts, or we lift both legs up, lifting and lengthening the legs, pushing the pelvis more into the mat. And you can either stay with this, or we lift the legs, we take the legs out, we bring them back in, and then we lower them back down again. So now we're getting into the outside of the hip and the outside of the thigh. Lengthening into the spine. Checking in with the shoulders, so the shoulders are still drawn back and down. And the legs are straight. So we're aiming to lift the legs straight up, aiming the back of the thigh up towards the ceiling. 2 more of these. And again, remember to rest if you need to. Last one, float the legs down. And then from here we're going to put both of those movements together. Remember, you don't have to, you can stick with one or the other. So set up, fingertips on the temples. Length, stability, engagement into the core. Inhale to prepare, and then exhale and lift up. Take the legs out and the arms out. Inhale to release, exhale to lift. And we're aiming for up to 10 of these. So it's almost like we're making a star shape at the top of the movement. So there's a lot going on here. Postural muscles, core engagement, glutes, the side of the glutes, the hips. We've got 2 more. Completing the repetitions, lowering down, hands under the shoulders, inhale, exhale, push back into a child's pose stretch. So just allow the bum to rest on the heels, chest and the rib cage onto the thighs, and relax the head down to the mat if you feel that's comfortable. And then from here, we're going to inhale, and as we exhale, we come back through into position for a modified hover. So we're going to bring the elbow under the shoulder, and you can have your hands or your arms in a sphinx position, or you can lightly clench your fists. So the knees are hip distance apart. The elbows are directly under the shoulders. The shoulders are slid back and down. And the important thing here is that we align the shoulders and the hips. So we don't want the hips to be higher than the shoulders, and we don't want them to be lower than the shoulders, so that's going to put pressure on the lower back. And we're going to hold this position with the eye line just down between the hands, slightly in front, so the neck is in line with the rest of the spine. Now our aim is to hold this for up to 10 breaths. If you feel that you can hold it for longer than that, then you can tuck the toes under. Pull up into the knees and push the heels away. So now we've got less contact with the mat. Shoulders are stabilized back and down. We're engaging into the core and we're working against gravity here. At any point you feel you need to, you can just place your knees back down and relax the feet. So you can change position whenever you feel you need to. We're just going to hold this for just one more breath. And then to release, we're going to push back into the child's pose and come forward and onto our side. For our side series of exercises, we're going to lay down on the mat in a straight line with our head supported, hips stacked. We've got that length coming through the crown of our head, string drawing us towards the wall now. Chest is open, hips are stacked one on top of the other. And your free hand, that can be in front of you on the mat, or just place it on the top thigh. So lengthen into the legs. So we're creating space all the way down through the spine into the hips and down through the knees, and just relax the feet. From here, with the core engaged, we're going to inhale. As we exhale, float one leg up to about hip height, and then inhale and exhale and float the other leg up to join it. If you're not comfortable here, you can leave the bottom leg down on the floor. And from here, we're going to inhale. And as we exhale, flex the top foot and kick the leg slightly forward without losing the position through the hips. Inhale, relax the foot and bring it back over the bottom leg. Up to 10. Kick it forward, relax and bring it back. So now we want to think about the precision of movement. So that top leg coming back directly above the bottom leg. Now nothing else is moving. Remember, if you need to, you can place this hand down. So if you feel that you're wobbling or you're starting to tense up, shoulders coming up towards the ears, and that may be because we're just not finding that stability, then you just place the hand back down, just giving you that little bit of support. We've got 2 more of these. So we're working in the muscles in the core, the inside of the waist, and also the muscles around the hips. Last one. And then from here, we don't want to just collapse. We lower the bottom leg and the top leg. And maybe just bend the knees and give yourself a massage around the hips. And then inhale to exhale. Push yourself up into the side hover position. So on that elbow back under the shoulder, like we did with the prone hover. And now we want to take the legs out so they're in line with the rest of the torso. Open the chest. Slide the shoulder blades back and down. Bend the bottom knee. And then bring that top leg right back over the top again. So we've still got that alignment through the body. And then from here, we're going to inhale. And as we exhale, we push up. Inhale to exhale. Float the top arm up. Now you can just stay here. Hold this position for up to 10 breaths. Or we're going to inhale. And as we exhale, we float that top leg up. And then we inhale. And as we exhale, reach over the top. And again, you can hold this, or we inhale. Now as we exhale, bring the knee towards the elbow and the elbow towards the knee. Inhale and exhale. We're doing this up to 10 times. So think about the position of the torso. Nothing is moving here. only thing that's moving is the top arm and leg. Think about the length as you reach away, fingertips away from the toes. And now the aim is not to touch the elbow and the knee, it's just bring it in the direction of. So we're contracting the muscles on the top side of the body, around the hips mainly. And we've got 2 more of these. Remember to breathe, inhaling to release, and then exhaling. And this is our last one. And then again, we don't want to just collapse, lower the top leg and the arm, come down onto the hip. Come up onto the hip and release the shoulder. We're just going to go on to the other side to do exactly the same thing. So start with a static side to cake position to get the length and the alignment. The chest is open, the head is supported, there's a space under the chin. And we should be in a straight line. You can use the edge of your mat and use your arm, your hand for support. So once we've achieved that straight line, the hips are stacked, the core is engaged. We're going to inhale, and as we exhale, we lift the top leg. And then we inhale, we exhale, and we lift the bottom leg up to join it. And again, you can't just hold this. You should feel a strong connection in the muscles, the internal muscles in the waist. So if you were to poke it with your thumb, you should feel pretty firm. You've got that light engagement into the core. Hold this, or inhale, exhale, flex the top leg forward, and inhale, bring it back over the bottom leg. Again, just supporting yourself if you need to. And of course, it's still okay if you want to lower that bottom leg back down. So it's not a big range of movement. Everyone will be different. Flexing the foot. Now as you flex the foot, feel that length coming into the back of the leg. Just try not to overpoint the foot as you take it back. So you don't want to get any cramp in the feet. So the foot is just relaxed. We've got 2 more of these. Maintain the height in that bottom leg. So try not to let it collapse solely down towards the floor. This is our last one. And then lastly again, lowering top leg. And then from there, coming up into this side hover position. So we've got this leg straight, out in line with the rest of the torso. Bend the bottom knee, bring that top leg back down. Align your elbow so it's direct under the shoulder. Inhale to exhale, come up. Take it up in stages if you need to. Or inhale to exhale, top leg up. Top arm over. Hold this, or inhale and exhale, and knee to elbow, and elbow to knee. One side of the body does feel different to the other. So not many of us are blessed with complete symmetry. Our aim during Pilates is to bring balance and try and encourage symmetry in the body. Everything is done with control, quality of movement. It's not about the quantity. We're aiming for up to 10 of these. So we've got 2 more. Remember not to hold your breath. Inhale, exhale. This is our last one. And again, not collapsing, lowering it. And then coming up and releasing out into the shoulder. Going to come round onto our backs now. So we'll start with the feet at distance apart and the knees bent. And we're just going to roll down through the spine to come down onto the mat in our supine position. So maybe adjusting the feet if you need to bring them in a little closer towards the bum. So just think about that alignment of the feet, hip distance apart, the knees in line with the feet. And so the hips will be in line with the knees. The arms are going to be by our sides. We're going to think about that length back into the spine. The crown now drawing us towards the other wall. Stabilize into the shoulders, shoulder blades back and down. Pelvis is a triangle now. And we try and get that triangle as flat as you can. If it doesn't feel comfortable, then take the imprinted position where we've got that grape underneath our lumbar curve. And we're just putting enough pressure down through the lumbar spine area, just as if we're going to squeeze that grape and no more. Just really to reduce the lumbar curve slightly, and so it feels more supported. And then engage into the core. Zip, third of the way up, belt to third notch. And from here we're going to place the fingertips on the temples. And all we're going to do is a basic abdominal crunch. Fingertips to the temples, or you can fully support your head if you need to. So I'll warm up for the upper abdominal muscles. Inhale to prepare. And then exhale, peel the head and shoulders off the mat, looking towards the knees. Inhale to lower. Exhale to lift. So the pelvis should stay stable here. Hips pointing directly up towards the ceiling. So it's just a warm up for the upper abdominal muscles. We're just going to do 2 more of these, but remember, if you feel any tension in the neck, just do as many repetitions as you can. This is our last one. Inhaling, floating the arms down by our side now without changing anything else. So we're set up with our strong foundation. We're going to inhale. Now as we exhale, float one leg up to tabletop. So in a neutral position, the knee will be directly above the hip and the shin will be parallel with the floor. So the foot will be in line with the knee. If we're in imprinted though, it will be slightly different. So neutral or imprint without moving anything else. Inhale and exhale and float the other leg up to tabletop. And then inhale. Now as we exhale, just a toe tap down to the mat. Inhale to float it back up, toe tap down to the mat. Hinging at the hip, so the angle at the knee stays exactly the same. Now you can stay with this, or we can extend the leg at 45 degrees. So this is preparing the lower abdominal muscles for our next exercise. Now if you feel that you can maintain that stability in the pelvis, you could start to take the leg a little lower. Inhale, exhale. So just checking in with the core. If we start to let go of the core, then we're going to get a doming into the lower abdominal muscles as they try to assist and stabilize the pelvis. This will be our last one. And then we're going to float one leg down and then the other. Just straighten out the legs. We just want to release into the hip flexors. So our next exercise is the Pilates single leg stretch. So reset, feet hip distance, knees back in line with feet, length into the spine, arms by our side. Stability into the shoulders and pelvis and engagement into the core. Inhale and exhale and float one leg up to tabletop. Inhale and exhale and float the other leg up to tabletop. And then from here we're going to inhale. Now as we exhale, we peel the head and shoulders off the mat and take hold of one knee and draw it in towards you with your hands on the outside of the shin. Extend the other leg away. And then from here we're going to inhale and exhale and switch. So we're just drawing the knee in towards the chest. Inhale, exhale. Now nothing else is moving. Stillness in the torso. Space under the chin, so we're looking towards the knees. We've got the shoulders backing down. We're just drawing the leg in without losing the alignment of the pelvis. All we're doing is just increasing our range of movement. But of course, at any time, you can lower your head and shoulders down if there's too much tension in the neck. And we're aiming for up to 2 more of these on each side. So this is our last one. Bring it back to tabletop, arms down, head and shoulders down, one leg down, and then the other. And if you need to, you can take a full body stretch. Setting ourselves up now for a shoulder bridge. Just to get some active recovery into the front of the body. Original starting position. Lengthen, stabilize, engage into the core. Inhale, exhale, peel off the mat, coming up and onto the shoulders, shoulder blades. Reduce the range of movement if you need to. And then inhale to exhale and roll back down again. We're just going to do a few of these. Just want to actively recover into the front of the body. Mobilize into the spine, so we've been holding that flexed position through the spine with the single leg stretch. So now we're just allowing that mobility to come back into the spine, but we're also warming up the muscles in the back of the body. So our posterior chain, from the ankles up through the calves, the hamstrings, the glutes, and also into the lower and mid back. So this will be our last one. And then release. And if you need to from here, you can just take the knees in towards the chest, just to release into the glutes and the hamstrings. And then we're going into our single leg bridge with a variation if you want to take it. So it's exactly the same starting position. Hands back down by our sides. Create that strong foundation. And then inhale and exhale and come up. And then from here, inhale, exhale, float the leg up to tabletop. Inhale and exhale, lengthen the leg. And now we're just going to draw a small circle on the ceiling without anything else moving. Movement coming from the hip. 3 times in one direction and then 3 times in the other direction. A small circle. And to release, I'm going to bring it back to tabletop and float that leg back down again. Inhale and exhale and roll back down vertebra by vertebrae. Same on the other side. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, tabletop. You can, of course, draw a circle with the knee. You don't have to extend the leg. The leg wants to be extended directly above the hip. Inhale and exhale, small circle. 3 in one direction, and then 3 in the other direction. Bring the leg back to its original starting position. Bend at the knee, float the leg down. Inhale and exhale, and roll all the way back down. So we're doing that twice more on each side. Remember, you can go back just to the basic shoulder bridge if you need to. So imagine that your leg is like a mathematical compass. So the movement is coming from the hip, nowhere else. And we want to make sure, as we're creating that movement with the leg, small circles, we want to make sure that nothing else is moving. So everything else is still. So it is a small circle. One more time on each side. So we're really working strongly into the glutes. Single leg shoulder bridge is really one of the best exercises we can do for our strengthening the glutes. stop. Anytime you need to, have a rest. Join back in again. Or just wait for the next exercise. And then lastly, floating that leg back down. And gently drawing the knees in towards the chest. We've just got one more exercise, and that is the Pilates scissor. So we're going back to the upper abdominals again. So we'll set up for that, lengthening, stabilizing, engaging into the core, inhaling and exhaling, floating one leg up, inhale and exhale, float the other leg up. And then just like with the single leg stretch, we're going to inhale and exhale and peel the head and shoulders off the mat. And then we're going to take hold of the back of one thigh, straighten that leg, and then inhale and exhale, straighten the other leg. And then we inhale. As we exhale, drop one leg and pull the other leg in towards you. Inhale and exhale and switch. Inhale and exhale and switch. Inhale, exhale, switch. Now you can go back to the toe tap if you need to. So we should feel now that we're stretching the hamstring as we draw that leg in. Stretching the hamstring, stabilizing the torso and the pelvis. Nothing else is moving, just the arms and the legs. 2 more times to each side. And then to release, both legs up, tabletop, arms down, and then float one leg down, and then the other. Just going to finish with a few stretches. Lengthen out the legs and the arms. Start with that full body stretch. And then carefully release. Arms down by our side. Walk the feet in. And then from here, just drawing the knees in towards the chest. Might be quite nice here, inhaling. And exhaling, just bringing the forehead up towards the knees. So we're curling up into a little ball. Just stretching through the outside of the spine. And then carefully release. Just float one leg down and draw the other knee in towards the chest. And then inhale and exhale, hamstrings nice and warm. So hold on either above or below the knee. And draw the leg in to stretch into the back of the thigh. So other leg, it can stay bent, or you can straighten that leg out. And just use the breath. Inhale and exhale. Maybe walk the hands up a little bit further and draw that leg in a little closer. Just check in that you haven't lifted the tailbone off the mat. And then release. Place that foot across onto the other thigh, lift the foot, reach through, take hold of the back of the thigh for the hip thread needle stretch. Should feel that stretch around the hip. Mainly it's going to be the outside, but it can also be the inside as well. Try and relax the head and shoulders. Just one more breath here. And then inhale and release. We do the same on the other side. Start with the hamstring stretch, draw the knee in towards the chest. Inhale, exhale, extend the leg up. Try and get lightness into the leg. And the other leg, of course, it can stay bent or you can straighten out to open up into the front of the hip. You feel the tension ease into the back of the leg. Inhale and exhale. And just maybe walk the hands up a little further, but never onto the back of the knee itself. Just using the breath. Generally the muscles will relax on the exhale. Just one more breath here. and then release, foot across, hip stretch, lift the foot, reach through and draw that leg gently in. Try not to bring any tension into the neck or shoulders. And from here, just going to float that leg back down and release. Coming around onto our side safely to bring ourselves into a child's pose stretch position. Take the knees nice and wide. Push the bum back towards the heels and the arms out in front, and then inhale. Now as we exhale, just drop the chest and the shoulders down towards the mat. You can relax the head. If you're coming onto the forehead, or to on one temple or the other. Whatever feels right for you. And then from here, we're just going to relax one arm by our side and extend the other arm away, it's maybe slightly on a diagonal line. And then inhale and exhale, and try and drop further down towards the mat. You might feel that stretch into the front of the shoulder. And then carefully release. We'll just do the same on the other side. The arm relaxes, we reach further. Inhale and exhale, just drop down. Trying to find that stretch into the front of the shoulder if that's comfortable. And release. Coming into a 4-point kneeling position now. Just for a set of cow and cat stretches. So the knees under the hips, the hands under the shoulders, with the fingers spread. Inhale. And lift the chin and lift the tailbone. And then exhale, tuck the chin and tuck the tailbone into a cat stretch. So the cow and the cat, massaging the spine. Try and relax the head on the cat. It's as if we're trying to lift ourselves off the mat. Just 2 more times. But if only one of these stretches feels right for your body, then just do that one. After our last cat, just going to bring it into a neutral position. Push back onto the knees. And thank you so much for joining me today. Hopefully you enjoyed this session, and I will see you again soon.